Hello everyone. Welcome to the video course English File Pre-Intermediate 4th edition, episode number 29, Unit 9, Part A. Beware of the dog. It's like be careful when you see a dog. Beware of it. In this series of videos, I'm helping you go through this wonderful textbook. There are 5 parts in today's lesson. First, you're going to work with vocabulary related to animals. Yeah, finally. If you ask, is it necessary? Yeah, why not? And it will give you some context for further exercises and tasks. And anyway, the world of animals is exciting. Next comes a listening part. It's all about dangerous animals. There you can have a chance to listen something interesting and discuss it later. Part 3 is reading and speaking. It's an exciting part to start your journey into the second conditional. This reading part will give you all necessary context for a grammar part, that is number 4. If plus past, would plus infinitive. You will learn how to express ideas that are in your imagination. If I won a lottery, I would buy a lot of houses, for example. And finally, we have speaking. It's going to be interesting because our imagination has no limits and borders, and you can say a lot of things there. Before we start, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who is supporting my channel. And remember, these lessons are available only because of you. So if you want to see more episodes soon, please join my Boosty or use donation alerts. You can find all the links in the description. Check my Telegram channel, VK public group, and subscribe. It's very important. Let's start the lesson. Part number 1. Vocabulary and pronunciation. Animals and insects. Word stress. Part A. Listen. Which animals can you hear? I think this task is clear. You will hear some noises and sounds, and you need to guess, or to understand, what animals are in the audio. If you can't remember a particular name of an animal, it's okay. Do it just for fun. Then you can listen again and check your ideas.
9.1 1. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8.
Part B. Vocabulary bank. Animals. Match the words and photos. Only one thing to say before you do it. All animals here are divided into 4 groups. Insects, group 1. Don't forget to practice this word, yeah? Insects. They are small animals, such as bugs, butterflies, flies, mosquitoes, bees, and so on. Next is farm animals. No comments here. Then comes wild animals. Animals which live in natural surroundings. Of course, some people try keeping them at home as a pet, but usually it's not a good idea. Especially if you keep a tiger at home, it can kill you. The last group here is sea animals. They can't live without water surroundings. So, just for fun, try to match everything here, then check it and try to remember. So, work with animals.
Nine point two. Animals. Insects. 5.
bee,
3.
Butterfly.
6.
fly,
1.
Mosquito.
4.
spider,
2.
Wasp.
Farm animals. 8.
bull,
10.
Chicken.
12.
cow,
7.
Goat.
13.
horse,
11.
Pig.
9.
sheep,
Wild animals. 3.
Bat.
19.
bear,
29.
Bird.
12.
camel,
13.
Crocodile.
28.
deer,
25.
Elephant.
4.
giraffe,
30.
Kangaroo.
9.
lion,
18.
Monkey.
24.
mouse,
7.
Rabbit.
33.
rat,
17.
Snake.
11.
tiger,
Sea animals. 15.
Dolphin.
22.
jellyfish,
26.
Shark.
6.
whale,
Now I will cover all the words and you see only the pictures. Check yourself how many animals you can remember. I hope it will be at least 60%, maybe more. Check your memory. Let's read this info box together. Stressing words that are similar in other languages. Some words in English, for example for animals, are similar to the same words in other languages, but the stress is often in a different place. What? So, for example, in Russian we say crocodile. In English it's crocodile. You see, the stress is different, and there is only one way to master it. As you know, practice saying something till you get it right. And keep it in mind that your native language and English are two different languages, yeah? So, let's practice some stuff. Part C. Look at the animal words below. Can you remember which syllable is stressed? Underline it. Use your intuition here. Let me help you with the first word here. Camel. Camel. So, the stress is on the first syllable, not the second one. Like camel, yeah? That's weird. Camel. After some time, the answer is going to appear and you can listen and check yourself.
— 9.3.
Camel,
crocodile,
dolphin,
elephant,
giraffe,
kangaroo,
lion,
mosquito,
Speaking in pairs, ask and answer the questions. Let's do it. Question number 1. Do you have or have you ever had a pet? What was it? You know what? All my life I live with cats. And even now I have a wonderful cat. My brother has a cat in his flat. My parents have 3 cats in their house. So it just happened. I remember there were 5 years in my life without cats. And those years were boring. Cats always do something that makes me smile. Of course, you can be angry with them, yeah? But most of the time, it's fun. Okay, maybe you like dogs more, and it's good. Maybe you have parrots or hamsters or fish. Actually, while answering this question, you can make a list of all animals you have had in your life and describe them. If you hate having pets, you can say, "Oh, I'm not a fan of keeping animals at home, so," and explain why. Yeah? Question number 2. What's your favorite film about an animal? Since I'm not a fan of cinema industry and films, it's hard to say. Can you remember any films related to animals? Personally, I can't. I know there are a lot of comedy films about cats and dogs and stuff, and they're sort of, kind films. Family films, yeah? but I can't remember any of them. Sorry. Moving on to the question number 3. What's your favorite cartoon animal? Speaking of cartoons or animation films, Scooby-Doo. It's a fun character. Am I an old person to mention Scooby-Doo right now? Do you know this cartoon? Okay, again, there are thousands of cartoons with animals, but I can't remember any on the spot, right now. Maybe Brian from Family Guy TV series, that talking dog, a friend of Stewie, something like that. He's a fun dog. Question number 4. What animal would you most like to see on a safari? I would like to watch tigers and lions, big cats. I've seen them in the zoo, but on a safari, it would be nice. Yeah. If you don't know what a safari is, let me explain. It's an organized journey to look at wild animals, especially in Africa. But this term can be used not only for Africa, yeah? And if you have no idea what to answer, you can Google safari and look at the pictures. Probably after that, you will have something to say. Question number 5. Are there any animals or insects you're really afraid of? Spiders. I don't like them. And some stray dogs can be scary. Stray dogs are dogs you meet in the street without owners. Wild dogs. Most of them, of course, are nice and kind, but it's hard to say for sure. It can be the case that a stray dog can bite you and do some bad things to you. I'm also afraid of animals that can sting you, like put their needle into your skin, like bees, wasps, and so on. I know they're not so dangerous, but it can be painful experience, yeah? Question number 6. Are you allergic to any animals or insects? I have no idea. And I'd like to continue not having an idea because I don't want to test it, yeah? I hope I'm not. I'm not allergic to any animals. But I know there are a lot of people who are allergic to cats, and it's so sad. I hope you aren't. Question number 7. What is the most dangerous animals or insects in your country? Stray dogs, bears, some snakes. What else? You can't see a lot of dangerous animals in towns and cities. And speaking of the countryside, again, I have no idea. Yeah, you see, animals, it's a difficult topic to talk about. If you ask, but why should I talk about that? We don't often speak about animals in our lives. Yep, but you know one? Sometimes to be fluent, you have to learn to speak about topics that are difficult for you. And I hope you have something to say. Now, answer these questions. Your turn to speak. Listening. Look, you're going to listen about the top dangerous animals in the UK, starting from the 5th place to the first one. Listen to the audio and rank animals. The 5th place, this animal. The 4th place, that animal. The 3rd place, that animal, and so on. I think the task is clear, yeah? Ranking. Let's go.
9.4.
So, David, what are the 5 most dangerous animals in the UK? Can you tell us in reverse order? I mean, starting with the 5th most dangerous.
Yes, of course. At number 5 is a snake. the adder.
Mm.
The adder is the only poisonous snake in the UK. They can be about 1 metre long, and they're quite common in some parts of the UK. They don't normally attack people, except when people step on them by accident. A bite from an adder can be very painful, and occasionally can kill. However, the last death from an adder bite was more than 40 years ago.
Ah. And number 4?
The fourth most dangerous animals in the UK are cows. People think cows are slow and a bit stupid, but in fact, cows kill at least one person every year.
Gosh.
However, nearly all attacks happen when people are walking dogs in a field of cows, and they usually happen in spring or early summer when young cows are with their mothers. So that's when you need to be careful.
Mm. And third?
In third place are red deer. These are large animals. They can weigh 100 kilograms. You need to be especially careful in the autumn, when the male deer can get very aggressive. They also cause frequent accidents on the road by running out in front of cars.
Ah.
There are about 50,000 car accidents a year which involve deer.
Oh. And in second place?
Dogs. They are responsible for around 200,000 attacks a year in the UK, although most of them aren't serious and very few actually cause death. Certain breeds of dog, like German Shepherds, Rottweilers and Pit Bulls, are more aggressive than others.
Mm.
One reason for this is that they were traditionally hunting dogs or guard dogs. Dog attacks can happen at any time, and some dogs even attack their owners.
And in first place?
Wasps and bees.
Really?
They cause more deaths in the UK than any other type of animal or insect. About 5 people a year die from bee or wasp stings, and it's nearly always because they have an allergic reaction.
Oh.
About 25% of the population in the UK have a bee or wasp allergy, some more serious than others. However, people are usually allergic to either bees or wasps, but not both. Bees and wasps only sting in self-defense or when they're provoked, but wasps are more aggressive than bees. So if you ever see a wasp nest in your garden, make sure you call a professional to come and destroy it.
Most definitely. Well, thank you, David. That was both fascinating.
Listen again and complete the facts about the animals or insects with 1 or 2 words in each gap. You see the gaps, you see some facts, try to complete them. Listen to the audio one more time, and if it's necessary, listen to the audio 10 times till you understand most of it, yeah? But before, let's read the script together. Thieves, a snake or the adder, they can be about how many meters long? You'll write it here. They only attack people, them by accident. Here is a verb. So people do something to them and then they attack. It's from the audio. Place number 4, or fourth place. They kill at least one person. How often? In this case, maybe every week, maybe every 10 years. Who knows? It's from the audio. Most attacks happen when people are doing something in fields, usually in spring or also the season here. The third place, red deer. They can weigh 10, 20, 50 kilograms, yeah? You have to hear that in the audio. Males can get aggressive here is the season. They also cause about, it's a number, car accidents a year. Place number 2, or the second place, dogs. attacks cause death? Is it many, few, maybe most of them, most of the attacks? It's from the audio. You have to hear it. And attacks can happen at any time, and some even attack someone. First place, wasps and bees, yeah? About how many people? Here is a number. About people a year die from an allergic reaction. And then number 12. It is a name of an animal are more aggressive than also a name of an animal. Now listen to the audio again and complete the gaps.
9.4.
So, David, what are the 5 most dangerous animals in the UK? Can you tell us in reverse order? I mean, starting with the 5th most dangerous.
Yes, of course. At number 5 is a snake, the adder. The adder is the only poisonous snake in the UK. They can be about 1 metre long, and they're quite common in some parts of the UK. They don't normally attack people, except when people step on them by accident. A bite from an adder can be very painful, and occasionally can kill. However, the last death from an adder bite was more than 40 years ago.
Ah. And number 4?
The 4th most dangerous animals in the UK are cows. People think cows are slow and a bit stupid, but in fact, cows kill at least 1 person every year.
Gosh.
However, nearly all attacks happen when people are walking dogs in a field of cows, and they usually happen in spring or early summer when young cows are with their mothers. So that's when you need to be careful.
And 3rd?
In 3rd place are red deer. These are large animals. They can weigh 100 kilograms. You need to be especially careful in the autumn, when the male deer can get very aggressive. They also cause frequent accidents on the road by running out in front of cars. There are about 50,000 car accidents a year which involve deer.
And in 2nd place?
Dogs. They are responsible for around 200,000 attacks a year in the UK, although most of them aren't serious and very few actually cause death. Certain breeds of dog, like German Shepherds, Rottweilers and Pit Bulls, are more aggressive than others. One reason for this is that they were traditionally hunting dogs or guard dogs. Dog attacks can happen at any time, and some dogs even attack their owners.
And in 1st place?
Wasps and bees.
Really?
They cause more deaths in the UK than any other type of animal or insect. About 5 people a year die from bee or wasp stings, and it's nearly always because they have an allergic reaction. About 25% of the population in the UK have a bee or wasp allergy, some more serious than others. However, people are usually allergic to either bees or wasps, but not both. Bees and wasps only sting in self-defense, or when they're provoked, but wasps are more aggressive than bees. So if you ever see a wasp nest in your garden, make sure you call a professional to come and destroy it.
Most definitely. Well, thank you, David. That was both fascinating.
The 5th place, a snake, the adder. They can be about 1 meter long. They only attack when people step on them by accident. The 4th place, cows. They kill at least 1 person every year. Most attacks happen when people are walking dogs in fields, usually in spring or early summer. The 3rd place, red deer. They can weigh 100 kilos. Males can get aggressive in the autumn. They also cause about 50,000 car accidents a year. The 2nd place, dogs. Very few attacks cause death. Attacks can happen at any time, and some even attack their owners. The 1st place, wasps and bees. About 5 people a year die from an allergic reaction. Wasps are more aggressive than bees. И, как обычно, следуя традиции, переведем данную аудиозапись. У нас говорит точнее, радиоведущий и Дэвид под буквой D. Итак, Дэвид, какие есть 5 самых опасных животных в Великобритании? Можете ли вы нам сказать в обратном порядке? Вот это in reverse order имеется в виду не 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, а скорее 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. То есть в обратном порядке. Вот, он и говорит. Я имею в виду, начиная с 5 самого опасного животного. Он говорит, да, конечно. Номер 5 – это змея. The adder. Это то, что у нас называют гадюкой. The adder – это просто название змеи. Гадюка, snake, соответственно, просто змея. Гадюка – это единственная ядовитая змея в Великобритании. Poisonous – это ядовитая. Они могут быть около 1 метра в длину, и они довольно распространены. То есть common – это то, что часто встречается. Буквально вот прилагательное, которое обозначает что-то, что частое явление, часто встречается в некоторых частях Великобритании. Они обычно не атакуют людей, да, они don't normally, это они обычно не атакуют людей, кроме, except это кроме, когда люди наступают на них, by accident это случайно. Кроме того, как люди на них наступают случайно. Это у нас укус гадюки может быть очень болезненный, painful болезненный. И occasionally это иногда, то есть время от времени иногда может убить. Однако последняя смерть от укуса гадюки была более 40 лет назад. А 4 место. 4 самые опасные животные в Великобритании – это коровы. Люди думают, коровы медленные и немножко тупые, но в действительности коровы убивают, по крайней мере, 1 человека каждый год. Однако nearly, это почти все атаки случаются, когда люди выгуливают собак, то есть когда люди что делают? Волк и дог это выгуливать собаку, когда люди выгуливают собак в полях, там, где есть коровы, или в полях для коров. И они обычно, этой атаки, имеется в виду, случаются весной или ранним летом, когда молодые коровы с их матерями. Это вот то время, когда нужно быть осторожным. А 3 место. 3 место – это красные олени. Эти большие животные, они могут весить практически 100 килограмм, или они могут весить, весить 100 килограмм. Вы должны быть, или вам нужно быть особенно осторожными осенью, когда male – это самец, female – самка, male – самец, то есть самец оленя может стать очень агрессивным. Они также вызывают частые аварии на дорогах. Так, еще раз, вот эти слова cause – это вызывать, быть причиной, frequent – частый, accidents – аварии на дорогах, с помощью чего, да, выбегая, получается, на дорогу перед машинами. И, получается, существует или есть около 50 тысяч аварий в год, в которых так или иначе involve, это имеется в виду, вовлечены олени. Так, и на 2 месте. Собаки. Они ответственны, responsible, это они ответственны за около, получается, 200 тысяч атак в год в Великобритании. Да, 200 тысяч атак. И несмотря на то, что большинство из них не очень серьезные, имеется в виду, не имеет особых последствий, very few, Здесь имеется в виду очень мало, но есть некоторое количество, которые как бы вызывают смерть или являются причиной смерти. Certain — это определенные breeds, это породы, определенные породы собак, например, как немецкая овчарка. Если вам нужно это слово, вот она. German Shepherd — это немецкая овчарка. Ну, ротвейлеры, да, и питбули, получается, более агрессивны, чем остальные собаки, than others. Одна причина для этого, то, что они были, ну, изначально, traditionally, это изначально, получается, охотничьи собаки или собаки-охранники. Guard dogs — это собаки для охраны. Собаки атакуют, или вот так вот, собачья атака может случиться в любое время, и некоторые собаки даже атакуют своих владельцев. То есть owner of the dog — это владелец. Так, и на первом месте, получается, у нас осы и пчелы. Они вызывают больше смертей в Великобритании, чем любой другой тип животных или насекомых. Около 5 людей в год умирают от, получается, вот это жало. Ну, можно сказать, они умирают от того, что их ужалили пчела или оса. И это почти всегда потому, что у них аллергическая реакция. Около 25% населения Великобритании имеют, получается, аллергию на пчел или ос. Некоторые более серьезные, чем остальные. То есть у некоторых людей более серьезные версии аллергии, чем у других. Однако люди, получается, обычно имеют аллергию to either bees or wasps, but not both. Что имеется в виду? Имеет аллергия к либо пчелам, либо осам, но ни к тем, ни другим одновременно. То есть вот это either bees or wasps, либо к пчелам, либо к осам, но не к двум сразу. Получается, пчелы и осы только жалят для самозащиты. Self-defense — это самозащиты, или когда их провоцируют. Вот этот глагол provoke — это провоцировать. Но осы более агрессивны, чем пчелы. Итак, если вы когда-либо видите, или если вы вообще видите это гнездо ос в своем саду или в своем огороде, убедитесь в том, что вы позвонили профессионалу, чтобы он пришел и уничтожил это гнездо. Destroy — это уничтожить. И вот говорит в конце ведущий: определенно, definitely, да, конечно. Ну, Дэвид, that was certainly, это было определенно. Ну, это тоже синонимы, и аудио обрывается здесь. Ну, надеюсь, что какие-то моменты прояснились. Эти слова, которые я выделил полужирным, можно себе записать. Ну, а мы идем дальше. Part D. Are any of these animals dangerous where you live? Have you ever had a bad experience with any of them? It's just a topic to discuss, one question. Speaking of me, we don't have many dangerous snakes, but I think there are some. Cows? I haven't seen them for a long time. Red deer? Aren't seen anywhere as well. I'm not even sure that there are some in my country. Dogs? Hell yeah, I've mentioned it earlier. Yeah, about dogs. Wasps and bees, of course, they're pain in the neck. Sometimes literally. I always forget that wasps exist, but when I go swimming, hello, those things start swirling around. And speaking of my bad experience, I can't remember any. Maybe one case I remember. When I was a kid, I saw how a dog was running towards me. I was scared. I thought it was going to be very bad. I mean, this situation. Maybe it was last minutes of my life. But then the dog passed me by and went on running. It was chasing a cat, not me. But I was terrified. I was scared. I thought it would bite me. And by the way, I wasn't tall at that time. The dog was about my height. I think it was even bigger than me. Now, what about you? Can you say something about these two questions? Part number 3, reading and speaking. Read the quiz questions and answers. Complete each question with an animal or insect from the list. Bee, cows, dog, jellyfish, shark, snake, wasp. Look, your task is to complete the gaps in the quiz with these words or animals. Try to guess the animal, then check. But look, for now, you don't answer the questions, yeah? Just guess the animals and complete the gaps. Number 1. What would you do if a large aggressive dog ran towards you? Number 2. What would you do if you were driving and a bee or wasp flew into the car? Number 3. What would you do if a poisonous snake bit you on the leg and you were more than 30 minutes from the nearest town? Number 4. What would you do if you walk in a dog on a lead and some cows started moving towards you? Number 5. What would you do if you were in the sea and a jellyfish stung you? Number 6. What would you do if you were in the sea quite near the shore and you saw a shark? B. Look at the highlighted verbs and verb phrases. With a partner, try to guess their meaning from the context. Then, of course, you can check your ideas in the answer section. Finally, part C. Read the quiz again and circle your answers A, B, or C. You can't know everything for sure, so just try to guess. It will be like this. First, one section of the questionnaire you try to guess. Then the answer comes. Then another one, and so on till the end. After that, you can listen to me translating it for you. Let's do the quiz. In the city. Number 1. What would you do if a large aggressive dog ran towards you? A. I would shout down at it several times. B. I would put my hands in my pockets and walk slowly backwards. C. I would keep completely still and look in its eyes. Number 2. What would you do if you were driving and a bee or wasp flew into the car? A. I would open all the windows and wait for it to fly out. B. I would try to kill it with a map or a newspaper. C. I would wave my hand to make it go out. Now pause the video, choose the answers, and then check yourself. The answers in the city. Number 1. The answer is B. Dogs like to attack any part of you that is moving, usually hands or arms. It is also dangerous to turn your back on the dog. You shouldn't look the dog in its eyes because this will make it angry. Shouting down or go away at the dog will not work because dogs usually only react to their master's voice. Number 2. The answer is A. Wasps and bees will usually fly out of an open window, but don't wave your hands around as they follow movement and might try to sting you. And you mustn't hit the wasp or bee, as this will make them very angry. Of course, as soon as you can, you should stop the car and open the doors. In the country. Number 3. What would you do if a poisonous snake bit you on the leg and you were more than 30 minutes from the nearest town? A. I would put something very cold on it, like a water bottle. B. I would suck the bite to get the poison out. C. I would tie something, for example a scarf, on my leg above the bite. Number 4. What would you do if you were walking a dog on a lead and some cows started moving towards you? A. I would let the dog run free. B. I would pick the dog up in my arms. C. I would shout and wave my arms. Now pause the video, choose the answers, and then check yourself. Let's look at the answers in the country. Number 3. The answer is C. If you tie a bandage or a piece of material above the bite, this will stop the poison from getting to your heart too quickly. However, be careful not to tie it too tightly. You shouldn't put ice or anything cold on the bite, as this will make it more difficult to get the poison out later. And never try to suck out the poison. If it gets into your mouth, it could go into your blood. Number 4. The answer is A. If you let your dog run free, the cows will go after it, but it will escape as it can run much faster than the cows. The worst thing you can do is pick up your dog, as the cows will probably attack both of you. And don't shout or wave your arms, because this will worry the cows and could cause them to attack. In the water. Number 5. What would you do if you were in the sea and a jellyfish stung you? A. I would rub the sting with a towel to clean it. B. I would wash the sting with fresh water. C. I would wash the sting with vinegar or seawater. Number 6. What would you do if you were in the sea quite near the shore and you saw a shark? A. I would swim to the shore as quickly and quietly as possible. B. I would float and pretend to be dead. C. I would shout for help. Now pause the video, choose your answers, and then check yourself. in the water? The answer is number 5. The answer is C. If a jellyfish stings you, you should clean the sting with vinegar, as this stops the poison. If you don't have any vinegar, then use seawater. But don't use fresh water. For example, water from a tap or mineral water, as this will make the sting hurt more. And you shouldn't rub the sting, as this will make it worse too. After you have washed the sting, you should clean off any bits of tentacles that are on your skin and take a painkiller. Number 6. The answer is A. If you are near the shore and the shark is not too close, you can probably swim to the shore without attracting its attention. For this reason, it is important to swim smoothly and not to splash or make sudden movements. Keeping still is dangerous, because if the shark swims in your direction, it will see you and it will attack you. Don't shout, because shouting will provoke the shark and it will attack you. Теперь переведем данный квиз. Там были моменты довольно сложные, но давайте смотреть. Первая часть в городе. Первый вопрос. Что бы вы сделали, если большая агрессивная собака, начала бежать или бежала по направлению к вам? Я бы закричал, сидеть несколько раз. Но имеется в виду shout at, закричал бы на эту собаку несколько раз, сказал ей сидеть. B. Я бы положил мои руки в мои карманы и медленно стал пятиться назад. То есть что такое walk backwards? Это имеется в виду идти назад задним ходом. И я бы остался абсолютно неподвижным и посмотрел бы в глаза собаки. В ее глаза, либо в его глаза, в зависимости от ситуации. Второе. Что бы вы сделали, если бы вы ехали на машине, и пчела или оса залетела в машину? Я бы открыл все окна и подождал бы, пока, вот эта штука вылетит. То есть либо пчела, либо оса. Я бы попытался убить осу или пчелу, картой или газетой. Я бы стал, получается, что делать? Я бы стал махать своей рукой и пытаясь заставить либо осу, либо пчелу вылететь наружу. Грубо говоря, как-то так. И ответы. Первый ответ у нас B. Собаки любят атаковать, и им нравится атаковать любую часть вашего тела или любую часть вас, что двигается. Обычно это, получается, руки или руки. Да, забавная ситуация. Hands — это у нас руки до запястья, arms — это все, что от запястья до плеча. Это к тому же опасно, получается, поворачивать свою спину к собаке. Вам не следует смотреть к собаке в глаза, потому что это заставит или сделает собаку злой, или разозлит ее. А если начать кричать, «сидеть» или «уйди» на собаку, или вот так вот кричание «сидеть» или «уходи» на собаку не сработает, потому что собаки обычно реагируют только на голос своего хозяина, master's voice, то есть голос хозяина. Второе. Ответ A. Осы и пчелы обычно вылетят из открытого окна, но не машите, можно сказать, не стоит махать своими руками вокруг, так как они, то есть вот эти вот товарищи, начнут следовать движению рук и могут попытаться ужалить вас. И вам нельзя, получается, здесь лучше так перевести, вам нельзя бить, получается, осу и пчелу, так как это сделает, разозлит их опять, так как это их разозлит. Конечно, вот как только вы сможете, вам следует остановить машину и открыть двери, дабы они вылетели сами. Так, вторая часть. In the country. Это имеется в виду за городом. Третье. Что бы вы сделали, если ядовитая змея укусила вас в ногу, и вы были, более чем в 30 минутах от ближайшего города? Я бы положил что-нибудь холодное на место укуса, как, например, a water bottle, то есть бутылку с водой. Ответ B такой. Я бы обсосал, получается, укус, чтобы вытащить оттуда яд. To get the poison out, чтобы вытащить яд. И C я бы привязал что-нибудь, например, или обвязал, привязал что-нибудь, например, шарф на свою ногу, получается, над укусом. Четвертое. Что бы вы сделали, если бы вы выгуливали собаку на поводке? On lead. Lead — это поводок. И некоторые, ну или кое-какие коровы начали движение по направлению к вам. Начали двигаться по направлению к вам. Вот это я бы отпустил собаку. I would let the dog run free, то есть спокойно спустил бы с поводка. Я бы подобрал собаку в свои руки, то есть взял ее на руки. И я бы кричал и махал своими руками. Так. И ответы у нас. Третий у нас ответ C. Да, привязать что-нибудь. Если вы привяжете, ну это bandage можно перевести как бинт или повязку, или какой-нибудь кусочек материала, получается, над укусом, это остановит яд, ну или предотвратит, остановит яд к тому, чтобы проникнуть к вашему сердцу слишком быстро. Однако будьте осторожными, чтобы не завязать слишком туго. То есть вам не следует класть лед или что-нибудь холодное на укус, так как это сделает еще более сложным то, чтобы вытащить яд, ну, получается, вытащить яд чуть позже. И никогда не пытайтесь обсосать яд, ну или отсосать яд, так как это проникнет в ваш рот, и, получается, это может пойти в вашу кровь. То есть яд может пойти по вашей крови. Четвертое. Ответ у нас A. То есть лучше спустить собаку с поводка. Если вы позволите, ну как позволите, если вы спустите свою собаку с поводка, коровы, получается, начнут преследовать ее. Но, получается, собака убежит, так как она бегает гораздо быстрее, чем коровы. Самая худшая вещь, которую вы можете сделать, это подобрать или взять собаку на руки, так как коровы, возможно, попытаются атаковать вас обоих. И не кричите и не машите руками, потому что это обеспокоит коров, и это возможно или может вызвать, или вот так вот стать причиной для них, чтобы вас атаковать. Это вот основная идея от этого. Дальше. В воде. Что бы вы сделали, если вы были бы на море, и медуза ужалила вас? На sting, stung, stung. Вот эти три формы. Медуза ужалила вас. A. I would rub. Rub — это тереть, то есть я бы потер. Ну, the sting — это то место, где ужалено, полотенцем, чтобы почистить это место. Дальше. Я бы помыл место, где ужалено, свежей водой. И я бы помыл вот это место, где ужалено, уксусом, винегар — это уксус, или морской водой. Шестое. Что бы вы сделали, если бы вы были в море, рядом с берегом, и вы увидели акулу? Я бы поплыл к берегу так быстро и тихо, как возможно. Я бы... Ну, что такое float? Это вот оставаться на воде неподвижно. То есть как парить... Нет, не парить над водой. Ну, грубо говоря, плавать без движения. То есть быть на поверхности воды, float, и притворился мертвым, и я бы кричал о помощи. Так, пятое у нас. Ответ это C. Правильно, то есть протереть место, где ужалили, уксусом или морской водой. Если медуза ужалит вас, вам следует помыть или почистить это место уксусом, так как уксус, имеется в виду, останавливает яд. Если у вас нет уксуса, используйте морскую воду, но не используйте свежую воду, например, воду из-под крана или минеральную воду, так как это, тут можно перевести, вот это место, где ужалили, начнет болеть больше. То есть this will make the sting hurt more. То есть эта штука станет болеть еще больше, если помыть это водой из-под крана или минеральной. И вам не следует тереть место, где ужалили, так как это сделает все это хуже. После того, как вы помыли это место, вам следует clean off, это имеется в виду прям вычистить любые части или кусочки щупалец, которые на вашей коже. и примите обезболивающее. Take a painkiller, то есть принять обезболивающее. 6. Ответ у нас A. Что бы вы сделали, если увидели акулу, то есть попытаться уплыть. Если вы рядом с берегом и акула не слишком близко, вы, возможно, можете просто поплыть к берегу без, вот что такое attracting its attention, без привлекания внимания акулы, то есть не привлекая к себе внимания. По этой причине очень важно или просто важно плыть как smoothly. Это имеется в виду мягко, спокойно, то есть не издавая лишних звуков, да? И получается not to splash. Что такое splash? Это когда мы создаем брызги на воде. Вот это как раз splash. То есть не разбрызгивая, то есть тихо плыть. И без того, чтобы совершать какие-то резкие движения. Sudden movements — это резкие движения. Keeping still — это у нас оставаться неподвижным опасно, потому что если акула плывет в ваше направление и увидит вас, она тогда вас атакует, получается. И не кричите, потому что крик, да, или кричание спровоцирует акулу, и она вас атакует. Вот такой вот был квиз. Надеюсь, теперь стало понятней. Ну что ж, идем дальше. Part E. Have you ever been in any of these situations? What did you do? Luckily, I haven't been in any of those situations that were stated in the textbook. Maybe with a dog. When it was running towards me, I just stood still and couldn't move. Luckily, I wasn't its target, and the dog just ran past me. What about you? Try to say a couple of words about your experience, if you have it, of course. Don't forget that when you talk about a particular case or event in the past, you just use the past simple tense and the past continuous. Like, I was there, I was doing this when it happened, I saw how, then I ran away, or something like that. So use the past simple and the past continuous here. Part number 4. Grammar. If plus past, would plus infinitive. Look at quiz questions 1 to 6 again. Are they about a past situation or an imagined future situation? What tense is the verb after if? What form is the other verb? Now the answer. Look, are they about a past situation or an imagined future situation? They are all about an imagined future situation, yeah? It's just in our head. What tense is the verb after if? The tense of the verb after if is the past simple. What form is the other verb? The other verb, or the other verb's form, is would plus infinitive. Would do, would get, would think, just simple infinitive. Let's move on. Now listen to the more examples given here.
9.5. 1,
If a cow attacked me, I'd run away.
If she didn't have a dog, she wouldn't do any exercise.
Would you go for a swim if there were sharks in the sea?
2,
If I had more time, I'd do more exercise.
I'd do more exercise if I had more time.
3,
If we went by car, we could stop at places on the way.
Let's read the rules here. In this textbook, I mean. Number 1. We use if plus past to talk about an imaginary or hypothetical future situation, and would, wouldn't plus infinitive to talk about the consequence. Would plus infinitive is sometimes known as a second conditional or as a conditional tense. We also use it without an if clause to talk about imaginary or hypothetical situations. For example, I'd never have a cat as a pet. They'd be happier in a bigger house. Would, wouldn't is the same for all persons. Contractions. Apostrophe plus D, would. I'd, it's like I would. You'd, it's like you would. He'd, it's like he would, and etc. Wouldn't, it is like would not. In a second conditional, the if clause can come first or second. If the if clause comes first, we usually put a comma before the next clause. We can also use could plus infinitive instead of would plus infinitive in the other clause. Be in second conditionals. With the verb be, we can use were instead of was after he, she, it. For example, if Jack was here, or you can say if Jack were here, he'd know what to do. Use were, not was in the expression if I were you. We often use this expression for advice. For example, if I were you, I wouldn't take that job. If it sounds confusing, it's okay. You can use if I were you, I would do that, or I would do this, and so on. First or second conditional. Compare the first and second conditionals. We use the first conditional for possible future situations. If I don't have to work tomorrow, I'll help you. It's a possibility. Maybe I will help you. We use the second conditional for imaginary or hypothetical situations. If I didn't have to work tomorrow, I'd help you. It's a hypothetical situation. I have to work, so I can't help you. So it's just like making an excuse. Поскольку правила довольно запутанные, давайте переведем, может быть, что-то прояснится. Тут у нас написано, первое, мы используем if и прошлое время по simple, чтобы говорить про какую-то воображаемую или гипотетическую ситуацию в будущем, то есть которая может произойти. А еще вторая часть предложения у нас would, wouldn't, и у нас идет инфинитив. Если забыли, что такое инфинитив, это вот глагол, как он есть. То есть, например, run, дальше do, где тут stop, вот эти вот, это все примеры инфинитивов. Чтобы разговаривать про, имеется в виду последствия, здесь consequence, или просто про продолжение идеи. То есть вот еще раз получается, если бы корова атаковала меня, это по simple, после if, я бы убежал, I would run away, я бы убежал. Или если бы у нее не было собаки, вот по simple, она бы не занималась, не делала никаких физических упражнений. Или вот такой вопрос, а ты бы пошел плавать, если бы были бы акулы в море? То есть вот такой момент. Да, смотрим еще раз. После if у нас идет past simple, вторая часть предложения просто would и инфинитив. Вот if past simple, would инфинитив. Здесь wouldn't инфинитив. Либо можем менять местами, да. Would you go for a swim if there were sharks in the sea? Второй у нас под кружочком. Would и инфинитив иногда известно как, получается, условное предложение. Это conditional tense. Если вы изучали подробно грамматику, вам может быть знакомо first conditional, который мы с вами прошли не так давно. Это первый условный тип предложения. Здесь у нас second conditional, второй условный тип предложений. Мы также можем использовать это все без if clause, это имеется в виду без вот этой части предложения с if. Просто чтобы говорить про какие-то воображаемые или гипотетические ситуации. Например, I would never have a cat as a pet. То есть, возможно, у меня никогда не будет кошки в качестве питомца. Или they would be happier in a bigger house. То есть они были бы счастливее в большом доме. То есть не обязательно if здесь даже использовать. Так, would, wouldn't, оно у нас одинаково для всех лиц. Имеется в виду что? Для первого лица, для второго или для третьего. То есть I would, she would, he would, она никак не изменяется. Так же, как will, как can и так далее. Это у нас сокращение. Сокращение здесь одно из самых, наверное, странных на первый взгляд, потому что это просто буква «д», и вот она как I'd, you'd, he'd. Это же, по сути, полные формы какие? I would, you would, he would и так далее. Ну а wouldn't — это сокращение от would not. Думаю, здесь поочевидней. Второй момент. Во втором условном предложении, получается, вот эта вот часть предложения с if может стоять на первом месте или на втором. То есть здесь какой пример дали? If I had more time, I'd do more exercise. Или можем менять I'd do more exercise if I had more time. То есть можно и так, и так. А здесь такой момент. Если предложение начинается с if, вот этот вот if идет первее, мы обычно ставим запятую перед следующим предложением. То есть, да, обратите внимание, вот здесь if в начале стоит, у нас запятая. Здесь у нас поменено, здесь запятой нет. Но это уже так мелочи. Дальше у нас глагол to be в вторых условных предложениях. С глаголом быть или be мы можем использовать were вместо was. После I, he, she, it. То есть, да, здесь уже это не такая условность, можно говорить I were, а можно говорить I was, но это все именно для второго conditional. То есть так-то у нас идет I was, she was и так далее. Это именно здесь. Вот, например, можно сказать if Jack was here, he'd know what to do. Или if Jack were here, he'd know what to do. Можно и так, и так. То есть, если бы здесь был Джек, он бы знал, что сделать. Используйте were, а не was в выражении «если бы я был тобой». Или по-другому, как мы можем сказать, «на твоем месте я бы то-то, то-то». Вот. Мы обычно используем это выражение для совета. Например, «если бы я был тобой, если бы я был на твоем месте, я бы не принял ту работу». Вот именно в этом выражении у нас всегда идет were. If I were you. Это отдельно запомнить. И тут у нас первый или второй тип условных предложений. Сравните первые и вторые типы условных предложений. Мы используем первый тип для каких-то вероятных ситуаций в будущем. То есть, если у меня не будет работы, я тебе помогу. Это возможность. Может быть, я тебе помогу. А мы используем второй conditional, то, что мы сегодня разбираем, только для гипотетических, да, или воображаемых ситуаций. Вот если бы у меня не было завтра работы, я бы тебе помог. Это гипотетическая ситуация, все-таки я должен работать, и я не могу тебе помочь. То есть здесь мы просто воображаем. Вот если бы не было, я бы тогда помог, а так извини. То есть надеюсь, что-то прояснилось. Но сейчас на упражнениях, надеюсь, станет все гораздо понятнее. Oh, as I always say, rules are rules, but let's get some practical stuff, and you will understand it. After completing some tasks. So, exercises. In exercise A, you just match the halves of the sentences. You'd feel much better if you did some exercise, yeah? In exercise B, you put the verbs in the correct form. And remember, after if we use the past simple, and we use would plus infinitive in the other part. If I found a good job, past simple, I'd move to the USA, would plus infinitive. Good luck with these tasks, then check yourself and make sure that you understand how it works. Let's do it. Before I start doing these exercises, keep it in mind that these situations are all imaginary or hypothetical. They are not real in this case. It's only in people's imagination. something like that. So, you'd feel much better if you did some exercise. It's just a piece of advice, yeah? Number 1. I'd enjoy the weekend more if I didn't have to work on Saturday. What does it mean, yeah? This person actually works on Saturday. That is why this person doesn't enjoy the weekend. And I'd enjoy the weekend more if I didn't have to work on Saturday. Number 2. If you didn't have to study for your exams, we could go out tonight. Yeah, maybe, but it can't happen actually, because this person has to study for their exams. Number 3. Would you really wear a suit if I bought one for you? If we took a taxi, we would get there sooner. But actually it didn't happen. I wouldn't work if I didn't need the money. It's so relatable for us, yeah? I wouldn't work if I didn't need the money. And number 6, if I went to live in London, would you come to visit me? I think it's a perfect match here. So that's all for exercise A. Let's see the exercise B. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb to make second conditional sentences. After if, we use the past simple. After the consequence is with would or wouldn't plus infinitive. If I found a good job, I'd move to the USA, or I would move to the USA. We we would get a dog if we had a garden. We would get a dog if we had a garden. If you, in this case, tried Indian food, I'm sure you would like it. Next, I wouldn't buy it if I didn't like it. Again, after if we use the past simple, the second half is just with would plus infinitive. If we hired a car, we would, it's not we would can, no. We could drive to the mountains. So we can use the verb can in the second conditional by using this form, could. Next, we would. It's like we would see our children more often if they lived nearer. Number 6. I wouldn't go to that restaurant if I were you. It's just an expression you need to remember as a whole, like if I were you and so on. It's very expensive. You would learn more if you did more homework. It's so relatable for all of my students. Yeah, you would learn more if you did more homework. Number 8, I would cycle to work if the traffic wasn't so bad. Like, you remember the verb to be or verb be in the past simple, there are two forms, was, will. So, if the traffic wasn't so bad. Next is this one. Would you, maybe yes, would you work abroad if you found a well-paid job? And I love living here. I wouldn't be happy. Yes, like I wouldn't be happy if I had to leave. In this case, I love living here. I wouldn't be happy if I had to leave. Now look, let's look at the all answers here, or answer keys. You'd feel much better if you did some exercise. I'd enjoy the weekend more if I didn't have to work on Saturday. If you didn't have to study for your exams, We could go out tonight. Would you really wear a suit if I bought one for you? If we took a taxi, we would get there sooner. I wouldn't work if I didn't need the money. If I went to live in London, would you come to visit me? If I found a good job, I'd move to the USA. We would get a dog if we had a garden. If you tried Indian food, I'm sure you would like it. I wouldn't buy it if I didn't like it. If we hired a car, we could drive to the mountains. We would see our children more often if they lived nearer. I wouldn't go to that restaurant if I were you. It's very expensive. You would learn more if you did more homework. You would learn more if you did more homework. I would cycle to work if the traffic wasn't so bad. Would you work abroad if you found a well-paid job? I love living here. I wouldn't be happy if I had to leave. Again, in if clauses, so to speak, after if we use the past simple and the second half of the sentence with would, wouldn't plus infinitive here. Or we can use a contraction. For example, instead of we would get, we can write or say we'd. Next is you'd. Here, I'd. Here, I'd buy it. Could can't be contracted, so we leave it. So we leave this word. Number 5, we can contract it like this. We'd see our children more. Next is wouldn't. You'd, yes. You'd learn more if you did more homework. I'd cycle to work, yeah. In questions, we don't contract anything here. And I wouldn't be happy. Again, wouldn't, it's already contracted. So it's something like that here. Okay, let's move on. Part number 5, speaking the info box. Talking about imaginary situations with would or wouldn't. I'd definitely do something. I think I'd probably do something. I probably wouldn't do it, yeah? I definitely wouldn't do that. I don't think I would, or I'd, and so on. So you can use these to express your ideas. Now, speaking part. Let's read what is stated in the textbook. Work in groups are free. Take turns to choose a question and ask the others in the group. Then answer it yourself. Look, there is only one thing to do. First I answer, then you, because we aren't in a classroom, yeah? Let's go. What would or wouldn't you do if you saw a mouse in your kitchen? I would take my cat there to deal with the problem. Actually, I'm not afraid of mice. Yeah, you remember it. It's singular, a mouse, plural, mice. So I'm not afraid of mice, even big ones. They are not a problem. Maybe I would just take a bucket and put it on a mouse. Take it and throw out my balcony. No, I mean not with a bucket, of course. I would keep it. And of course, I would wash my hands afterwards. And I hope you wouldn't be ready to put your flat on fire if you saw a mouse, yeah? Okay. Next question. What would or wouldn't you do if you saw a dog attacking someone? I'll be honest, I'm not a hero, but I would try to stop the dog somehow and make it run away. But the first thing that comes to my mind, just to kick it in order to distract a dog from a victim. Then I don't know what I would do, actually, but okay. What would or wouldn't you do if a bird or a bat flew into your bedroom? I'd definitely take a big piece of paper or a book, open all windows, and try to make an animal live using this instrument of a book or a piece of paper. Something like that. What would or wouldn't you do if you saw a large spider in the bath? I think I would probably take a napkin, catch a spider with it, and then throw it from my balcony. Yeah? I usually do it, by the way. I don't like killing spiders. It makes me feel depressed. I feel pity for them. So, next. What would or wouldn't you do if it was a very hot day and you were on a beach that was famous for shark attacks? I definitely wouldn't swim there. That's simple. By the way, yeah, I'm afraid of sharks. Or look, I would have a swim but near the beach, so I could see people who are farther than me. At least sharks can eat them first. And I think I would have some time to get back to the beach when I saw that sharks were coming. Okay, what would or wouldn't you do if someone offered to buy you a fur coat? I would definitely refuse, or I definitely wouldn't buy it. First, I don't need it. Second, a fur coat is an expensive thing to buy. Why should I? Okay, what would you do or wouldn't you do if your neighbor's dog barked all night? Oh, I would take a speaker, a device that can transmit sounds from your computer, put it under my neighbor's door, and play a video where cats are meowing. And just so, what would happen? Okay, what would you do or wouldn't you do if a friend asked you to look after their cat or dog or dog for the weekend? I think no problem. I would definitely take it. Why not? And what would you do or wouldn't you do if you went to somebody's house for dinner and they gave you A. Horse meat, B. Goat, C. Kangaroo? Horse, I would eat it. Goat, I would eat it. Kangaroo, I would eat it. So what's the problem? Now, it's the best task to say as much as you can, because you can use your imagination and it's unlimited, yeah? You can literally imagine finding yourself in those situations and think about what you would do, would feel, would act, and what the end would be. Now, your turn to speak. Now, let's look at your homework tasks.
Nine point 1. 9A. Pronunciation. 1,
Jellyfish. Crocodile. Elephant.
2,
Monkey. Tiger. Giraffe.
3,
Butterfly. Kangaroo. Mosquito.
4,
Camel. Dolphin. Lion.
5.
Spider. Rabbit. Chicken.
Часть слова, животные и насекомые. Заполните кроссворд. Так, я, наверное, думаю, я отдалю, чтобы было видно. Поехали, у нас 2 по этому горизонтали. Это у нас cow, корова. То есть здесь я его так и напишу. Немножко неровно будет, но что делать? Главное животных назвать. Так, 6. Это у нас jellyfish, это у нас медуза. Так и напишем. Jellyfish. Вот она.